I'd like to tell you a story about a friend of mine named Joe, and also about the power of literacy. Joe came to the offices of Literacy Lubbock about 4 years ago looking for help in learning to read. Joe and I were paired together, Joe as a student and myself as a tutor. We spent approximately 2 years together, him learning to read and me being able to see a life-changing experience with Joe. We started with the basics. Joe learned the alphabet, he learned small words like cat and dog. We started putting together words into sentences, and he really began to blossom. Joe and his wife lived in Littlefield. When we first started working together, Joe worked at the denim plant in Littlefield as a part-time groundskeeper. They scraped together a little bit of money to live on and really didn't have a good quality of life. Joe made a lot of progress very quickly. He quickly put together words into sentences and quickly started learning to read the newspaper and other very basic forms of literature. One of the highlights of my time with Joe was a story he told me about 6 months into our time together. He came to our session one day and he actually had a few tears in his eye. And he told me a story about his time together with his wife the night before and also time with his nephew. His nephew had been over and over the course of the last 6 months had always asked Joe to read a children's book to him, and Joe would make one excuse after another as to why he could not read, whether it was a project to work on or a TV show was on, or anything he could to get out of reading a book. And for one reason or another, this particular night he decided to give it a chance. And Joe picked up the book and started on page 1, and the next thing he knew, he was done with that book. And when he looked over at his wife was in tears because she had never ever seen him read a book and had never seen their nephew have the joy of hearing his uncle read to him. That was why I was doing what I was doing, and I knew that we were making a difference. When Joe asked me about any jobs that I might know in the city of Lubbock, I immediately knew that I would like him to work for Atmos Energy where I work. And we were able to get him a job as a construction operator working in laying pipe and digging ditches. He did that job for about, I'd say, at least a year, and was able to fill out the application for the job on his own, was able to fill out insurance forms on his own. He even told me recently that some other employees, co-workers of his, now ask him how they should fill out paperwork. He was even successful in obtaining his commercial driver's license and passing the written test to do so. One further achievement of his, which is probably the best achievement, because of his ability now to read, because of his desire to improve himself and better himself, he found himself with a better job, with a better lifestyle. Joe and his wife, for about 10 years, had been trying to start a family and had been unsuccessful. But because of the challenging cost of going to alternative methods, they were not able to have children. Because he took that chance and came to the Literacy Lubbock office, and because he stuck with working with me and plowed through it and learned to read, he got a better life by getting a better job. He got a commercial driver's license. But the best thing of all for him and for his wife, they were able to get onto the insurance policy with Atmos Energy, which allowed them the ability to meet with a fertility specialist. And about 2 months ago, he came to me and told me that he and his wife were expecting twin boys. So I have seen a transformation in this gentleman. He started with almost nothing, and through the power of literacy has changed his life immeasurably for the better. I can tell you that if you don't believe in what Literacy Lubbock does, or what the United Way does, or where your money's going, please just think of Joe and where his life was and where his life is. Thank you.